is the 1st of the month. It's March 1st. And this week, so guys, are we putting this up today? Just Friday?
Yeah, I'll get it up tonight.
All right, so we're going to get this up tonight. Sign up. Bare Knuckle, lucky for you guys, is tomorrow night. It's Saturday. And it's the Canada card. I think it should be easy, cruising. And then next week is a Bare Knuckle Miami card. We always crush the Bare Knuckle Miami card. So it's the beginning of the month. Go sign up for the Patreon, the YouTube, Discord. Sign up for my OnlyFans. And
your only feet fans.
Yeah, sign up for all that stuff, guys, and let's make some money. I have a goal that I set out for myself. So actually, a month and a half ago, like beginning of the year, I set a goal for myself with my with one of my accounts.
Okay.
And I have surpassed that goal and then a lot.
Okay.
In a month and a half. Like very, very well. So I've set a new goal for myself, and I'm being smarter right now that all the MMA is back, and I've gotten so close each time. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just make a ton of money. I'm pumped about it.
Make some money. Man, we had a week off, but we are back.
Well, you didn't really have a week off. You had a tough week.
I had a brutal week. In Saudi Arabia.
You look a little more Arab.
I feel a little bit more Arab. Have you ever wanted to go to Saudi Arabia?
It hasn't been on the top of my list, not top 10.
You should plan a vacation. It's sunny, a lot of beaches. I mean, that's where it ends.
Did you go surfing on the sand dunes?
I didn't do anything in Saudi Arabia. There's nothing in Saudi Arabia. It is.
Did you have a sheik shit on your chest?
Of course. To get into the country, that's entrance.
6 men have their way with you.
It was like, man, first of all, it was brutal. We got a call. So Henry Corrales fought on the Bellator versus PFL fight card. He had been released from Bellator before this. So he kind of he had to take this fight, and we're like, hey, we've got to do this, blah, blah, blah. We get a call Sunday. I don't know, maybe 4:00. By 8:00 that night, we are like, all right, we're going to Saudi Arabia tomorrow. And I woke up, packed my bags, left for the airport, and probably 12 hours, 15 hours after we got the call, I was on a plane to Saudi Arabia. Brutal flight. And first of all, with the flight, so the first flight was over to LA, then we went LA to Doha, Qatar.
Whoa. Careful what you say.
15 and a half hours straight. Then we had a 2-hour layover, and then we went from there to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which is an hour flight. The flight itself, I looked at the flight map because I was like, oh, which way did we go? Over New York or over, the Atlantic and all this stuff. Did I tell you which way we went?
No.
How do you think we got from LA to Saudi Arabia?
I literally don't know. I'm waiting for the punchline.
No, we went over the North Pole. We went over Canada, over the Arctic Circle.
Wait, what?
Over Greenland, Iceland, Europe, and then over to Qatar.
Wait, that's super cool, actually.
I know. And that's why I didn't even know that was an option.
Did you see penguins?
Of course I saw penguins. I had my binoculars out, and I was looking, searching at my radar, and there's penguins. There's a whole thing. But I didn't even know that you could do that. And so as we're over Greenland or something, I was like, where are the Northern Lights? What's going on? But anyway, it's just a cool thing to even know that you could do that. And then getting there, it was such a weird experience because there's nothing in Saudi Arabia. It's only been, the borders are pretty much only been open for tourism purposes for 4 or 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was telling me that they just got their first cinema about 5 years ago. And then women could not work or drive until a few years ago as well.
What would you say is the most homosexual part of Saudi Arabia?
Well, the shitting on the chest to get in.
It's at the customs agent?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. The customs thing, they actually weren't even Henry Corrales got in and he didn't. So we flew separately.
I would not let Henry Corrales into any country ever.
He should not be.
That guy. No, he's MS-13. Grab him.
He shouldn't have been allowed in the country. So me and Eddie had to fly separate from Henry. And we had to go through customs. We had to get a visa.
Wait, why do you say he shouldn't have been allowed in the country? Are you being serious?
No, I'm serious. Yeah, let me get to the finish of it.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm not kidding. Eddie and I flew separately. So, we get there, because Henry had to drive to LA, get his teeth taken out because they're all veneers and implants. So every fight he has to go to LA, get his permanent teeth taken out, gets flippers put in, and then he goes and fights wherever he goes. So his teeth don't get all rearranged.
Jeez.
So we get there, we get to to Saudi Arabia. We have visas through the Saudi visa program, whatever, and hand them our visa. They fingerprint us, check everything. We go to the hotel, and we're at the hotel waiting for Henry. Henry gets to Saudi Arabia a couple hours later, goes up to the customs desk because he wasn't originally supposed to be part of the Bellator fight. So he wasn't part of the original Bellator crew and the people there waiting and all that stuff. So a bunch of people were flown in together. So he gets there, and the lady is like, and first of all, the only women working anywhere I saw in Saudi Arabia were at the airport. That was the only time I saw women working. But so the woman asks for his visa, and he hands her his passport. She's like, "This is your passport. I need your visa." And he's like, "That's what I have." And she's like, "I need a visa." And he's like, "Yeah, it's right there." And she's like, "This is a passport." He's like, "No, that's right there." And like, she's like, "No, like you cannot get into the country like this. Like you need a visa." And just some big dude walked over and looked at what was going on and was like, "No, he's good." And that was the end of it. So then he gets to the hotel, checking in his room, and they're like, "Hey, we need your passport and your visa to put it on file because you're a foreigner in the hotel." And he's like, "Here's my passport." Same thing pretty much goes on there. And he's like, I don't have, I mean, this is what I have. And the guy behind the counter was like, "How did you get in the country? Like what? How are you here?" So anyway, we found out, I was talking with Ryan Bader, who's on the card too. He's like, "Oh, did you guys get the treatment and this and that?" When they got in, they were like, "Oh, you're the king's guests." And they didn't go, they went through like out a side door. Like they got to the country and just walked out through a side door. Just like
Bader, not Corrales.
Yeah, Bader. But so Corrales, they must have known that he was on this list as well, which is why they let him in. But yeah, no visa, nothing, just like side door situation. Like they didn't even go through customs or anything. So it's just kind of cool. There's nothing in Saudi Arabia. It's the most boring place I've ever been in my life.
Which is why you have to shit on chess. Did you read that story that I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a good read. It's called the
Twitter or Reddit?
It's Reddit, the Dubai porta potty. So for you guys listening, go ahead and read that. It's an interesting read.
Funny thing, getting over there, about 60 to 70% of the homes outside of the main city, or actually, no, 60, 70% of the homes do not have sewage systems. They have like septic tanks. So you've got to like dump out your septic tank. And a lot of even the big buildings don't have like running sewage systems.
Wow.
They've got to actually like take these septic tanks, they drive them to the middle of the desert in a lake. It's like a shit lake that they just dump water and like shit in and like fill it because they don't have actual sewage systems there. So if you're planning a trip, you guys reschedule it. Go to Dubai. Go to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's so much more touristy.
It's right there. Last week I didn't do anything. I think you put some picks up last week, right?
Yeah, we did really,
and you
really
did well. You won what, 25, 30 grand last week?
25.
Doing some stuff. So that's good. I did nothing last week. This week I'm pretty unprepared as well because just the travel and everything just took my soul. But we'll go through some stuff here and talk about some fights and we'll see what's going on. Before we do, you guys, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys are listening, please go to YouTube, type in YouTube, find us. Just like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Do us a favor. Anything else before we get going into some fights?
No, I don't have anything else.
This card itself, the lines are...
It's crazy. And we got bare knuckle this week. That's where I'm focusing, bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle. Yeah, you guys jump on the Discord because bare knuckle is going to be good this week. What is it up in Canada?
It's up in Canada, yeah.
Vancouver, Canada?
I don't know. It's all the same to me.
It is all the same. It's a pretty small country, so it's pretty much if you're in one part, you're in all of it.
It's either left Canada or right Canada.
That's it. And yeah, let's talk about fights. Let's talk about this week. We've got do you have the odds up over there, dear producer?
Yes. Yeah, it just loaded. Okay, so we have oh man, some of these names.
No, just tell us the names. Just
all right.
Hold on. I need you. Yeah, you're gonna announce all the names today, so everyone makes fun of him butchering the names instead of me.
Oh yeah.
This is
but they just chalk that up to the Hawaiian education system.
Well, yeah, I mean it's fine.
As long as I have an excuse, man, I'll take it. All right, Loic Radzhabov versus Abdul Kareem Al Sawadi.
Is it really Abdul Kareem?
Abdul Kareem.
Yeah, for real.
Did you see that highlight the other day of that really unathletic white guy? And they call him, he's a white guy. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yes.
Went for
That's
35
awesome.
points. It was sick.
Anyways, Loic is plus 145 and Abdul Kareem is minus 170.
Got it. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is one of the few things that I actually have working knowledge of.
I have a play on this one, and
Okay, I'm curious. So I just right off the bat, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like Loic here because the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he has a Palestinian flag and fought in Brave and all this stuff. Dude grew up in like Louisiana, and now he lives in Texas. So I was like, well, the dude's a fake Palestinian Middle Eastern guy. Like I can't take him seriously. So Loic, we know, who's battle tested and good, and
he's fought tough guys. Always
he's fought tough guys, and we know what we're getting at with Loic. Good wrestler. I wouldn't say an amazing wrestler, but a fairly decent wrestler. He has good power in his hands, and he's durable. He tends to fade quite a bit. And the thing with Loic, on a striking wise, like Rebeski had him guessing. He didn't know what he was doing with those low kicks and the movement. And Loic was just plodding forward. And man, you stand there toe to toe with him, and he's hard to deal with. And if you're, Estevan Rybovics and you're going to get out wrestled, I mean, that was a perfect fight for Loic for the, first two rounds. Then of course he death gassed.
Yeah, it got real scary.
Yes. And he was far enough ahead on the scorecards into round, into two, death gas pretty hard, but he kind of not death gasses. He slows down and gasses on pretty much every fight. And then you fight a guy like Rybovic who just has cardio for days. So it's like you're getting death gas kind of toward the end of it. Again, good power, good stuff. Loic, that's Loic. He's lost some fights to some okay guys in PFL, but he kind of fights to the level of competition a lot of the time.
So what level is this competition?
Well, Al Salwadi, he's not amazing, but he moves. He actually has really good movement, and he feints a lot, and he does a lot of little things that are going to keep Loic in check. And he moves laterally well, and he goes inside and outside kicks really well. I think that alone is going to give him a lot of trouble. Then Al Salwadi's not an amazing wrestler, but he's a decent wrestler.
A power wrestler.
Yes. His wrestling is predicated on blast doubles and like getting people off their feet and going. So he can do that. His defensive wrestling, I think, is probably a little bit better than his offensive wrestling. When he gets on top, his ground is decent. His grappling is decent. But the real thing that stands out, the two things that stand out, I already said one is the movement, which is going to be a hard thing. Dude has cardio for days. He has great cardio.
It's unbelievable for how he's built.
How he's built and how he fights. He's blast doubling and just moving and does not get cardioed out at all. So
think that's all natural?
Well, USADA's gone, and you guys out there, USADA didn't really test for EPO. It was something really hard to test for. I've gone hard in the EPO science recently because I'm curious, because I really suspect a lot of gyms are on the EPO, and I'm like, well, how are they on EPO if USADA is testing? And there are a lot of articles out there. There was actually a guy who did he was a he was a weekend warrior triathlete and a weekend warrior marathoner.
Are you going to talk about Icarus right now?
No.
Okay.
And he was a British guy, and he wanted to do a test and do it, but he thought it would be, he didn't want to compete while he was on it. He thought it would be unethical. So he did the competitions, but he just, what is it called? Pace them, or like you run them, but you don't sign up and you do them. So he did that. So he could gauge his time and do it. And the thing with EPO is you're supposed to get on it. And I'm going to butcher a lot of the details here, so I don't remember. It's been a while since I read this. Like, we'll say 12 or 16 weeks out.
Maybe we can, never mind.
Let me run through this. Like 12 or 16 weeks out, and then you like do it, you increase it, and then you do these small doses though, so it doesn't so it doesn't show up in test. And then after it's like, I don't know, 4, 6, 8 weeks that you're on EPO, you know when you're gonna compete. And so then you actually get off of it, but it builds your red blood cells up so much over that time, and you keep all of those red blood cells for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks after after you stop taking the EPO. So the guy did this, was just blasting through his VO2 max, blast all his times. He's just murdering everything. And then they even did drug tests for him on after he stopped taking the EPO, and everything came up as negative. So if you know what you're doing, I was just like, holy crap. So anyway, my point of that is USADA's been around for a while doing stuff. I don't think that I think people have been doing it. And
So the only downside is it's expensive.
I don't know. I don't know how expensive it is. I'm assuming you have to get a doctor to either prescribe it or administer it, which there's shady doctors out there. So I'm sure you could, but I don't really know the protocol on how to get into it or do it and stuff.
Well,
so
we need to do it and bring a new thing to fight ready.
yeah, I know. I need to be on EPO and just so I can out train everyone. But anyway, so I like Al Sawadi. I don't care if it's natural or not. I think he wins this. I think it's probably going to go to a decision, but I think he's going to really start taking over in that second and third round, and I think he wins.
I like El Sawadi too. Same exact reasons. The lateral movement. Yeah. Honestly, Loic's style is not hard to game plan for. Let me defend takedowns. Wait till he gasses out. Let me put a pace. Let me put pressure. Let me keep some volume out there.
And he'll get taken down once he gets a little tired too.
Yeah. I mean, of course, everybody does.
Yep.
I like Al Sawadi here, literally for the cardio aspect, and honestly, probably the fight IQ. Maybe the raw aggression I'd give to Loic, but I like the fight IQ. Like how he fought Hardwick was amazing. And the cardio. And that's what it comes down to me. I played and tipped this line early, the DraftKings one, plus 130. Now he's a minus 175 or 180 underdog. I'm sorry, favorite.
Next.
Okay.
All right, next we have De Olvera at minus 140 versus Sopaj plus 115.
I don't even know what you said or who these people are.
Where are you getting these odds?
I'm on fightodds.io. This line is from Bovada.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're on Tapology going up. What do we have over there for Ludovic Klein and AJ Cunningham?
We have Klein at minus 900.
Holy shit.
Cunningham at plus 600. And that's Bet Online. Those are Bet Online's odds.
Who do you give us your thoughts on that?
On Klein and Cunningham?
Yep.
I mean, I think obviously Klein's going to win this. AJ Cunningham, I've known him a long time. I've bet him since the LFA, and every single fight was like drastically close when it shouldn't have been. They gave him the worst guys ever, and he's fighting tooth and nail with these cans. Klein is obviously very good, very talented, like actually can fight. So this fight really shouldn't be competitive. I think for me, the biggest question is whether he's going to survive over a round and a half or not. And I like his toughness. He doesn't quit on himself. So really, I mean, you're going to be cheeks clenched the entire time, but maybe Klein has trouble getting inside the range. I don't know, whatever it could be. I think I'm going to maybe play an over round and a half here.
Okay. Interesting. Just so you know, because Klein's one of those guys, he's got that left high kick, and it's funny, he kind of death gassed his first couple fights, and
he figured it out.
Yes, but his pre-UFC tape we loved, and then he just kind of went crazy and death gassed and just had some bad performances because I think you're going against Nate the Train, and you end up fighting at that pace and going wild.
But then he beats Mason Jones and kills him, and we see how good Mason Jones was from last week.
Yes, last week he fought Bryce Logan. And I mean, a lot of it is good. He does all the right stuff. He's going to be small and undersized for this division as a whole, but that left kick is there. The cardio is there. Yeah, I mean, I think you got to maybe a lot of it by finish is a good bet because I think that he will get the finish. It's just, can AJ last long enough? Is it a round? Is it in round 3? So maybe a lot of it by finish just because the line at minus 900, like where's the...
Yeah, that's this whole card.
I know the whole thing is kind of hard to bet. You got to find those ways to make the line right, which I think a lot of it by finish is manageable enough, but not overly specific.
All right, next up.
All right. Excuse me. All right, next up we have Christian Leroy Duncan, minus 355 versus Claudio Ribeiro at plus 280.
Minus 355?
Yeah.
Sure.
Good God. This line's getting out of hand.
It's getting insane.
Well, I bet him at, check this out. I bet him at plus 150. Christian Leroy Duncan.
Dang.
Yeah, that's good. Just caught the opener. Lucky. I still think he's going to kill him. I think he's going to murder him. Ribeiro's not good. Christian moves a lot, right? He's very good at range management. He lost that fight to Armin Petrosian because he wasn't doing too much stupid mistakes, too much spinning stuff. Petrosian is a good striker. He is a good striker. He puts volume out there. He knows his game. He's comfortable. Ribeiro's constantly on the back foot, swinging one bomb at a time. Yeah, he looks like he's drunk out there throwing calf kicks. So, I mean, to me, this is a Christian Leroy Duncan finish. Easy.
Yeah. I mean, Ribeiro, everything is a step back check hook with his chin up.
Crazy.
And everything is a rock back left hook, and then of course the kicks. There's just too many openings. In Leroy Duncan, yeah, and that Petrosian, it was a Petrosian fight, right? Where everything was a spinning everything.
Yeah.
And he just he's really athletic. He moves so well. And when he does throw, he's got good straight punches right down the middle.
Wish he would just do that.
When he just stick a jab out there, and then eventually, Ribeiro's going to fall into something else. He's going to lunge. He's going to knock himself out lunging and stepping into stuff. The thing with Ribeiro is he's got the heavy hands, but Leroy Duncan is, first of all, anybody with 3 names is just weird. It's like a serial killer status.
Leroy Duncan.
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins, yeah. Did you know that was fake? It came out that was fake, and that whole thing was set up years later, and that killed me.
Oh, dang.
That was the greatest thing ever.
You didn't need to tell us all that.
I know. I ruined it for all of you. Anyway, yeah, I mean, straight punches down the middle, and he's athletic. We talked about it before. He's got that swag to him. He knows
You're just
how
trying to say
move.
he's black? Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but I just didn't want to say that because, I don't want to be a racialist. But no, he's smooth, good, clean stuff. So at 355, do you go by finish? That's where you find the value
I think
here.
he's going to finish him. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next up we have Basharat at minus 800 versus Zahabi plus 550.
I mean, that's crazy too. I mean, these are just like
every line
is just smoked on this. I mean, Javid is good. I mean, he's very similar to his brother, but I don't think he has as good of wrestling finishes as his brother. I
tend to like Farid more.
Yeah, I think Farid has a little bit more power, and I think he has a little bit better wrestling single leg finishes. I think they both do a lot of stuff very well. I think Javid's jiu-jitsu might be a little bit better. Not even better, but he attacks it a little bit more, whereas Javid tends to attack the wrestling a little bit more. Cardio is great. Fight IQ is great on both of them. My issue with Javid is his lack of instinct to finish in the fight. And so, and then you're going against Zahabi, who's got good fight IQ and is overall relatively good everywhere. And I look at these two as very similar in that Zahabi does have finishes, don't get me wrong, but there's big swinging punches when he kind of sits back and waits. He's very educated, I guess is the point. He's not going out there just swinging and brawling and going. And I think this is a Javid by decision bet. And I think by decision, you're probably going to get some better odds than just by going Javid, minus 800 or whatever it was. But I think it's an overall close fight that Javid is winning 10-9 rounds, but not in a complete dominant fashion, but in that was a Javid round. I don't think this is going to be an exciting fight at all.
No, because I think Zahabi's good. People have always doubted Zahabi. I've always liked Zahabi. I've made a lot of money playing Zahabi because
and that Tercios fight. I mean, that was probably one of the
we called that on
plays,
the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think when he fought Draco Rodriguez, also did he beat Draco?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Yeah, against Draco too. It's probably going to be a boring fight because Zahabi is good. He doesn't really make mistakes. I think Javid is going to out-volume him, out-pressure him, out-wrestle him. Javid just mixes up his game really, really well. It's amazing to me how those brothers do it. Minus 800 is tough to get behind. It adds zero value to anything. This week is just boxing to me. It's okay. We know who the winner is going to be, but how do they do it? Inside the distance, outside. And that's what makes it tough about MMA. There's so many different.
Do you like any parlays on these big favorites to try to match, or do you think any of them are too risky?
I think betting into UFC money lines and parlays is really, really tough. Every week there's something you could get. Even today in one championship, the dude slammed the guy and he got knocked out from it, and then they called a DQ. And stuff happens like that all the time. Get a knee to a grounded opponent, or someone death gasses, and then whatever. It's just there's so many things that happen.
Minus 1,000 in boxing there's less ways that an error can occur.
Yeah, the minus thousands boxing I could trust.
Yeah.
But in MMA, no way. No way.
Okay. Moving along. We're flying through these today, guys. It's late. It's Friday. We'll get through.
We'll be back to normal somewhat on Monday.
Yeah, we're going to hit the Sean O'Malley Cheeto fight really hard.
All right, so next one, we'll go back to Olvera, minus 140 versus Sopaj, plus 115.
Give your thoughts on that, because I didn't watch tape on this at all.
This is a really interesting fight. This is probably one of the best fights on the card. Two guys that are really,
in
really
terms of betting, or in terms of like competitive fun to watch?
Competitive fun watch, yeah. Sopaj is late replacement, and then you got Vinicius, who's an aggressive Brazilian striker. And for me, I really want to like is Olvera, right? I really want to like Olvera because he's just like mean, aggressive, nasty, swings for the fences, ultra athletic, ultra talented. But also, I like the guy who just kind of does the basics better. And Sopaj just kind of stays within himself and does the basics. He doesn't go crazy. I think there's going to be a better live betting opportunity. So I think I would probably go Olvera pre, and then as the fight plays out, I'd go Sopaj in the middle.
Okay. So where's Sopaj from?
Sweden.
Okay.
All stars.
It's funny, the European style of training is so technical. And so you see a lot of the Russians, a lot of the European boxers, their fundamentals are just almost flawless. And then you see a lot of the Americans and the Brazilians and some of these other countries where it's more of a loose style and more of an athletic style. If you watch a lot of European boxing coaching, they're almost doing line drills like karate, like jab, cross, hook, step. And it's like everyone in a line, boom, hands back up, throw, back up. It's very regimented, and but it creates those basics. And you rarely do you see boxers from Europe or strikers from Europe or wrestlers from Europe who just have these bad fundamentals. It's not like they're overly athletic winning fights. It's they're so technical that they win a lot of fights. So interesting.
All right, next up we have Eric Anders, minus 500 versus Jamie Pickett, plus 380.
Man, Eric Anders and I guess we're not cool. Wish we were. Didn't know we weren't cool until I knew that we weren't cool. And now I wish we were cool because
Eric's cool.
I don't have any. Yeah, Eric's cool. And
I like Eric. He's
I don't have any bad blood, but I guess I'm not cool. And so we're not cool.
I mean, that's not cool.
It's not cool, but
I'll tell you what is cool.
What's cool?
Winning money on Eric Anders is cool.
That's cool.
It could be cool.
Could be cool. Now, again, what's the line on this? Because it's pretty steamed up.
It has been steamed, yeah.
Anders is minus 500 and Pickett is plus 380.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Pickett is 2-6 in the UFC. I mean, that's I mean, do we think that those odds? Man, Eric does a lot of stuff well. He's athletic. He's big. He's strong. He hits
black
hard. Is he?
I thought.
Oh, he does a good job of pushing people to the fence. He has good jiu-jitsu. One thing that he has had issues with in the past, and we worked on it a lot when he was with us, is finishing his takedowns. He would get the takedown, or he would get the entrance pushed to the cage, but he wouldn't be able to finish the takedown. He's not amazing at it yet, but he took Mab down a couple of times and was able to finish stuff, ran the pipe, going, doing stuff. So his takedowns are getting better. On the other side, though, you have Pickett, who is tall and awkward and deceivingly can like awkwardly defend some takedowns sometimes. And so I think he's going to make the takedown hard a little bit. Eric's also a lot slower. He's just not a fast athletic guy.
He's been looking a lot faster lately.
He has, but Pickett is legitimately fast. He's quick, whereas
how does he lose so many fights? Like he can kind of do stuff decent.
It is so unreal that it's like he just panics in there. He doesn't want to fight. So like, I don't know. His path to victory is just pushing somebody to the fence for 3 rounds and not getting finished.
Eric's just meaner.
So Eric's going to bully it, beat him up in the clinch, push him against the fence, dirty box him, and win this fight.
God, minus 500 is tough, but I mean, Jamie Pickett.
I think the over is going to hit, though.
Oh, I do too.
I think it's going to be over 1.5. Honestly, I could even see by decision or I could see decision, Eric Anders by decision. But if that's just a little too risky because you think Pickett can find quit too easily, then go Eric Anders over 1.5 rounds.
All right. I'm with you.
All right, cool. Next up, Steve Erceg.
That is cool.
It's cool.
Are you guys cool?
Are we cool?
No, we're cool. We're cool.
We're cool.
Are you cool?
Aren't we?
I'm cool.
Are we cool?
I don't know anymore, man.
When you put it like that.
When you ask me like that. I thought we were. All right, Steve Erceg minus 440 versus Matt Schnell plus 340.
I like Schnelly boy here.
I don't hate Schnell.
Because, I mean, Schnell's problem is you got these guys that are insane submission guys, which Erceg is really good jiu-jitsu. I do like his jiu-jitsu. Or you have super good power, like big power. And I don't think that Erceg has the stopping power to put Schnell out. And then it's a volume game, and Schnell has good striking. Schnell's athletic. Schnell can do a lot of things, and maybe I'm dreaming here. Maybe I'm going crazy. But I think like when you have huge plus money like this in a fight that I figure will be somewhat close, give me Matt Schnell.
He lost to Nicolau last, which was of course we saw. His other losses are to Brandon Royval and Alexander Pantoja as of recent. I mean, those are not bad fighters. And I really like Erceg. Schnell is amazing. On a technical, he is really, really good. His chin is not great because it's just glass at this point.
Yeah.
And sometimes he just panics. Like we saw that with, I think it was Royval. He just tapped.
Double tapped.
He double tapped. Like he just sometimes panic, but he is really good. Why I think he's going to shine in this fight. I'm glad you said that because I thought I was going to be alone on this.
I don't understand so much Erceg love this week.
Well, I don't either because if Erceg was wilder, I think he could
takes it.
Yes.
Chins him.
Yep. I think, or submit him because I think.
But he's so calm, composed. He's going to give Schnell the fight that Schnell would love to have.
That's exactly it. And Erceg, man, if he just goes in and guns blazing, swinging, Schnell will find a way to lose. Like he'll find his chin or he'll shoot and he'll get guillotined or something will happen. But in a calm, technical fight, and I thought Erceg, gosh, who did he fight last? Sorry, I'm pulling that up right here. Costa. I thought Costa had some moments there, and Erceg, I thought Erceg looked great in his debut, and I was not, I thought we called him to win that Dvorak fight. I think everyone thought we were nuts there.
Because he was a big underdog.
Yeah, and we were pretty big on him in the Costa fight, but he didn't look as good. I think Costa showed
We actually said that though. We said you have to be a little bit careful because Erceg will win every second of the fight until he just gets tagged, and that's what happened over and over again. Yep. A little fire hydrant.
But no, I like Schnell. If Erceg just goes balls out at some point, he could win. But yeah, I like Schnell here for the upset.
All right, done.
All right, cool. Next up, the biggest favorite on the card, Nurmagomedov minus 1,200 versus Alakan plus 750.
Hey, I'm going to touch on this a little bit just because I don't know Alakan at all, and I didn't watch film on him, and I just want to touch on Umar. Umar is so freaking good.
What makes him so good?
Everything. And you want to know what it is? Everyone looks at him as a striker, and he is. His range and his distance are great. His high kicks are amazing. He just flicks those things up like jabs, and he can close distance so well, almost like the Taekwondo guys that you see. Like, go watch Taekwondo Olympics, and you'll see them glide in and out. They're so fast, and they just flick that lead leg up from either stance without having to like load or switch like you would as a Thai boxer. And then his hands are loose. He's so educated with his striking and his distance, and he's so fluid. But he strikes more, and they call him a striking dag. His wrestling and his grappling is unbelievable. He takes people down at will with ease, and when he gets on top, he only needs one takedown a round.
That's it.
And that's it. And he doesn't move again. So I don't know anything about this other kid. But one, I'm wondering, was Umar supposed to fight somebody else? You know, if this...
from what he says, that nobody would fight him.
And that's what I was thinking, and why I asked, because that is a damn shame that dude is fighting a newcomer, because that shows you. I mean, that right there shows you that how good he is. If nobody else in the UFC will fight him.
Sandhagen's asking for it again.
Is he? Man,
seems like a bad fight for Sandhagen, though.
Yeah, I think it is a bad fight.
At range, fine, but Sandhagen falls over all the time.
And he's been working on his wrestling. Look what he did with, was it Cheeto? And look
Cheeto
what he did
has
with
no
Rob
takedown
Font.
defense.
I know. Yeah. Neither of those guys do. But he has been working a lot on it, so maybe it's better. But yeah, I agree. Thoughts on it? Do you have any thoughts on?
I mean, the guy's good. The guy's talented. I see people taking the underdog shot. Like, I get it. Also, the guy has skills and he's whatever. But this is Umar's fight to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish watching tape tonight, you guys. I'm gonna put a lot of more thought into the Discord and the Patreon. I just didn't have a lot of time to go over stuff.
We didn't do the pod last week, but I did a nice little journal for UFC Mexico, and I think I hit every single fight on the whole card. Like,
oh, really? Nice.
Ortega upset and the Royval upset, and I was like, hey, dog or pass here. This is it. And yeah, it was good, clean, nice little notes, little journal.
Next up.
All right, cool. We got Alex Perez plus 270 versus Muhammad Mokaev minus 340.
I like those odds, and I think they represent the fight well.
That Mokaev is going to smoke him?
Not even smoke him, but just stylistically, Perez can get submitted. And Mokaev is so weird. Some days he just looks so amazing.
And some days he's getting reversed by Malcolm Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gordon's athletic. But honestly, I say that, but no, it really is him like kind of flailing and spazzing and turning, and anyone that can happen to anyone. I remember I took Melvin Gillard down when we were fighting. I took him down and immediately got bridged to my back. And then I took him down again and immediately got bridged over. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? It was one of those things where he wasn't strong, but the second we hit the ground, he would explode and put me on my back. Some people are just like that. But yeah, Mokaev, I like, first of all, his jiu-jitsu is great. He drops to knees on his shots and understands how to finish from there and actually turn the corner.
He's actually good because he gets underneath you. Yeah.
He gets underneath you and gets you draped over, turns the corner like traditional wrestling. But he has really slick jiu-jitsu. I mean, it really, and it's not like beat you up, wear you out jiu-jitsu, like, which he does. He can hang on you and do that. But it's actually legitimately like
real jiu-jitsu.
Good
Take
jiu-jitsu.
Your back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take your back, arm bar, like slide the choke in, like guillotine, high arm stuff. He really is good. And Perez is kind of like Schnell in that sense where he's good, but he just loses. He can find ways to lose in some of these
Hasn't
fights.
fought in so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. He's kind of between camps with
Did you wrestle with him? That class you took?
No, but we were there talking and interacting and just like just around each other.
Okay. All right. Because that was at the PI. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I like Perez, I think, but even Mokaev's striking has gotten better since we've seen him in the UFC. It's long, it's fast. And the thing with him is he's kind of game. He kind of reminds me of
Josh Koscheck.
No, like a Ian Gary, where remember Ian Gary got hurt with that body, throwing the body shot and got clipped by Kenan Song. And then he was just kind of like, oh, I got to finish this. Like a Michael Morales, where like he's moving, he's really technical, and people are kind of not winning, but like they'll find some moments in this and that. Morales is like, all right, I gotta do this. And he knows when to turn it up and when to go to fight and when to win. So I like Mokaev here. I could see a finish, or I could even see him just climbing on his back and hanging out for 15 minutes.
All right. Fair enough.
Cool. All right. Next. The co-main, Tyson Pedro plus 270 versus Vitor Patrino minus 340.
Everybody thinks this fight's a trap. Like that Patrino is going to, this is Tyson Pedro's time to shine. And Tyson Pedro's fine. He's fine. I think he's got skills, especially in round one. Like that fight that he lost was against Modestas.
Yeah.
He was showing really good grappling, good transitions. Like he looked clean and solid.
Is that the one where he said that he had staph or was sick or whatever?
Stomach flu, a little upset tum-tum.
Yeah. Because he looked good that first round and then just died.
Yeah, he just wouldn't throw anymore. And the thing that I'm seeing after that is who was his last fight? Jeez, sorry guys. His last fight.
Turkali.
Yeah, even against Turkali, he is shying away from every punch. He is a great offensive guy. He swings hard. He hits hard. He's got great technique. Like he's a bruiser. But when people throw on him, he's like shying away. He does not like to get hit. And, I think Patrino is good, like really good. He manages range well. He sees things well. He can wrestle. He hits hard. Like I think that this is, first of all, the cardio edge to Patrino. Strange.
Yeah. When did you think you'd say that?
Yeah. but he can wrestle. He can do everything well. Like the war of attrition. I like Patrino here, but I think that Tyson doesn't like getting hit. I see a Patrino knockout.
Okay. I like it. I'll go with that. I didn't watch this. I know these guys well enough that, I mean, you didn't see. Surprisingly, I like Patrino's striking is great, but his wrestling, he actually finds
Really good.
takedowns, really technical takedowns, which is surprising from a Brazilian to have that high level of like
high IQ, you're saying?
Yes. Like, no, not high IQ. Yeah, I think he's actually, I could actually see like a ground and pound type of TKO.
I totally could too. Honestly, like I think it's a knockout here for sure.
All right, cool.
All right.
Main event, we have Rozenstruik plus 160 versus Gaziev minus 192.
Why are you laughing over there?
Hey, you know what? I made it through the names, and I don't think I butchered them too much. You know, overall, I'm happy with my performance tonight.
How do we say your name?
You know how to say it.
No, because I feel like I said it wrong for years, and it's just like something you just like don't correct me.
Camuela. So I always tell people it's like the end of a website, so .com, so it's calm. The sound a cow makes, moo, and then the end of umbrella, Camuela.
Wait, where'd you get the moo from?
Camuela?
Camuela?
Yeah, Camuela.
That dude, come on. Camuela.
I pronounce it Gabe.
Gabriel.
Yeah, somehow like when you look at the letters and the way they come together,
Yeah, it kind of pronounces
it sounds
like,
a lot like Gabe.
Sounds a lot like Gabe.
All right, let's get this going.
I think I kind of like Biggie Boy for the upset here.
Okay, why?
Because I think Gaziev is
Gaziev.
I don't know, just that Boudet fight. I don't know. Boudet was a little bit of a Homer Simpson in there, and it was kind of a layup. And I think Biggie Boy can outlast a little bit on the ground, because I think Gaziev isn't like take you down and jump on your back and submit you like a Jalton Almeida. He's a take you down, hang on you, punch you. And I think Biggie Boy can find the cage, get back up. I think if he does that one or two times, Gaziev is going to be a lot more tired. I think he fades out a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely does. And that I'm sad to say that I played Boudet, and he just beat him within an inch of his life. But I will say he had him right where he wanted him. If he would have survived that last little bit, tides are turning.
Yeah.
But he has good strike. I mean, he strikes like a lightweight.
Yes.
He's fast. He's efficient. He's a really clean striker. His wrestling is really good. Like he legitimately can do all things well for 7 minutes.
Yep.
7 minutes.
And the other thing is, I think his striking is good, but I think he's going to stay there a little bit too long. And then I think he can find himself getting clipped, or as he starts wrestling later in the rounds, if he gets a little too comfortable striking, he's going to find himself a little bit further on the outside by getting hit and trying to not get hit. And then it's going to be harder for his shots to come in. I kind of like Biggie Boy. What are the odds on that? What do we say?
We got Rozenstruik plus 160 and Gaziev minus 192.
Yeah, I kind of like. I think Biggie Boy can touch him.
I already played Gaziev minus 132. I think that he's going to take this one, and I'm actually happy with a Gaziev pre-bet because round 1, round 2, he should look really good. And honestly, I think he probably can finish him within those 2 rounds. And if he doesn't, okay, cool. Now I have my live bet, nice live entry.
Yeah.
That's how I like.
I mean, the fight's not going the distance, is it? Not with these two.
I mean, you never know. I mean,
well, I think that Gaziev is going to death gas. He's either finishes it or he death gasses.
But even when he did death gas, I mean, 5 rounds, he hasn't really done before. But he hangs on guys, and who knows if Biggie could probably push a pace.
Yeah, I think so. I think Biggie
he knocked out Overeem in round 5.
Yeah. So I think the pace, I think under 4 is
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go into round 4 or 5.
Yeah, I like Gaziev here. I think he's going to finish it, but I will be looking to, if things aren't looking good, I'm going to get out of my position live.
Okay. Next week we've got, and this was super vague, you guys, and we just ran through it quick. We wanted to get something out there for you so you guys can take some of our notes with, take them with a grain of salt, because we kind of ran through this. We didn't get overly technical. It
is the 1st of the month. It's March 1st. And this week, so guys, are we putting this up today? Just Friday?
Yeah, I'll get it up tonight.
All right, so we're gonna get this up tonight. Sign up, bare knuckle. Lucky for you guys is tomorrow night. It's Saturday, and it's the Canada card. I think it should be easy cruising. And then next week is a bare knuckle Miami card. We always crush the bare knuckle Miami card. So it's the beginning of the month. Go sign up for the Patreon, the YouTube, Discord. Sign up for my OnlyFans. And
your only feet fans.
Yeah, sign up for all that stuff, guys, and let's make some money. I have a goal that I set out for myself. So actually, a month and a half ago, like beginning of the year, I set a goal for myself with my with one of my accounts.
Okay.
And I have surpassed that goal and then a lot.
Okay.
In a month and a half. Like very, very well. So I've set a new goal for myself, and I'm being smarter right now that all the MMA is back, and I've gotten so close each time. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just make a ton of money. I'm pumped about it.
Make some money. See you next time, guys.